Welcome to this week's episode of Barefoot Travels. Last time we left you, we were in the Ragged Islands at Flamingo Key. It was definitely a beautiful spot after leaving Georgetown. You may have noticed that we've taken a short break from making videos. Sometimes you just need a break to enjoy the surroundings that you're in. But now we're back, so I hope you enjoy this week's episode as we carry on through the Bahamas to some other beautiful islands.
'Cause I am a barefoot man. Barefoot, I make my stand. I bare my soul for all the world to see. Yeah, I am a barefoot man. Feet planted firmly in the sand. Bare your souls. Come along with me. Lose your shoes, lose your blues. Come along with me.
Alright, so we're on the move again today. We were originally going to go to Long Island, to the very bottom tip of Long Island. But when we made our way to the South Cut out of Flamingo,
it was a little bit on the, I bailed it, I was leading.
It looked a bit nasty.
Had a look for it, looked pretty nasty. Carl's got balls of steel, so he went through it. But then once he did get through it, he did say it was pretty much 6 foot seas in the cut. And that's wind against tide, so they're very, very steep.
And what was his words? Yeehaw!
Yeah, I think he said yeehaw or something. Anyway, he did make it through, but he did, you know, he did advise if you're going to try and come after me, make sure everything is strapped down, which means his galley probably looks like a right mess because he didn't strap down. But anyway, now he's on the other side. We've got a radio call. Apparently it's not very nice out there anyway. So we're just going to move about 12 miles up the islands, check out another one for the night, going off tomorrow.
Yeah, because when we came up, when we aborted the South Cut, there's one other option. We could have done the North Cut, but as we've come past it here, it looks pretty nasty as well. It's really hard to show on the camera, but as you get close to it, you can see the breaking waves. And the North Cut here, on the charts, it says dangerous reef everywhere. So I really don't want to get stuck in 6 foot waves coming through a cut with dangerous reef around. So, yeah, we're gonna go to Waters Key, sit the night there, and then it's supposed to be even calmer tomorrow, and we can do the 50-mile crossing to Long Island. But that's also cruising life. You gotta be versatile. You gotta be ready to change. You gotta be ready to take it as it comes.
You gotta go with the flow and don't try and stick to a schedule, because that doesn't always work. You've got to be flexible enough to say, no, I don't want to beat the boat up or us up. For what reason? There's another beautiful beach just up here.
Well, and even here you can see the waves coming through the cut, and they're bigger than I would have liked. Bigger than what it was predicted anyway. So on the outside it's going to be worse than this.
Waves never ever show up on the camera, do they?
No.
Yeah, that was not fun.
That
No?
wasn't fun?
Not fun.
So what happened?
Oh man, you know, you get up into it and it's like you don't realize how bad it is until it's too late.
It's too late to turn around.
Yeah, it was too late because all the seas were like 8-10 footers and they were
sharp.
There was no way for me to even turn the boat around.
Right.
Because I would have been
Side onto that, and then it was so narrow as well.
yeah, and then you got shit flying everywhere. I couldn't even get to the radio to let you guys know, hey, turn around.
Yeah.
So good call on watching me doing this shit forward and back.
I think actually what we actually did was I actually aborted it and said on the radio,
Yeah.
I'm aborting, I'm turning around. You guys are welcome to do what you want. But yeah, with that, I think I even said, I think there was a comment in there about balls of steel or something. I can't remember what I said exactly, but Eric
No,
had the
more
camera on
stupidity. More stupidity than balls. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. You get into it and you can't get out. You just gotta.
Well, that was one
You
of
gotta power
those.
through it.
That's one of those key things everyone talks about here in the Bahamas. When you're going through a cut and it's with the wind against the tide, get it right, or abort, or don't attempt it. Find another one, or go later. So.
Or send the stupid guy through first.
Hey, I was leading. I turned around. You overtook it.
Yeah,
kept
you were
going.
like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lead. No, I think I'm gonna let Carl go through this first.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
But yeah, coming back in through here, there was swell, but it wasn't near as
Well, it's a much
steep.
wider cut this
It's
time.
a much wider cut, and actually I saw there's another cut here on the
yeah,
south side.
I've seen that one. I've seen that one.
That looked pretty wide and 30 feet deep, and there was plenty of water there.
And how's the state of the inside of your boat? Crap everywhere?
Well, that was the other thing. So, this is another reason why I say it's more stupidity than balls, because what did I do yet again? I did leave my frickin' front hatch open again. So all of those waves that were coming over the bow, yeah, right into my frickin' bunk.
So you'll be sleeping in different bunks.
So I'll be in the aft cabin tonight. Yeah.
That sucks.
And I closed everything else up, but that one.
Hey, Foxy.
So yeah. And yet, I donated yet another lure.
You did?
I did.
So Carl has the best luck with fishing.
Yes,
He
fishing,
has-
not catching.
Yeah.
He has all these nice lures, and
I
Well,
donate them.
He used to have lots of
Yeah.
nice lures. They're getting smaller and smaller.
Exactly,
the man he's got
exactly.
every day.
I donate quite a few of them.
No, we didn't put a lure out because we stayed on there. There was plenty of water. We were in 40 feet and stuff, but I just didn't bother.
Well, while I was out deep, I got nothing. And as soon as I started coming back into that cut and I got back up into like 100 feet of water, boom. And you can tell by how it fights that it was
Yeah, it's a barracuda.
It was a
straight away.
barracuda.
Fights, and then stops.
Yep.
Just gives up.
Well, he fought, and boop, gone.
so our time in Waters Key was awesome. Davy and Carl went out and caught lobster and fish, and then we had sundowners on our friend's boat, Hamisha, where we got this awesome sunset behind Barefoot. So it's better going out today.
This morning looks much better. So we're going out. Sorry, that was a bit close to the camera, wasn't it? So we're going out the cut here at, I believe this is Whale? No.
Water Key.
Water Key. It's a nice big cut. We haven't got wind against tide. We've got an outgoing tide, but the wind's off on our beam. So it's beautiful. Not like yesterday. Not the superhero car with his balls of steel. This is much more like it. So anyway, onward to the bottom of Long Island. Long day today, about 50 miles. If anything interesting happens, we'll put the camera on.
So we're still chugging away. Nothing really that exciting has happened. We've had the fishing rods out, haven't caught anything. There's still hope though. We've got 16 miles to go. So we're about 2/3 of the way there. I guess the only thing that's interesting, I guess, is this dark cloud that's getting ever so close, a little bit closer.
And it got colder.
And it has got a little bit colder, like Davy said.
That's always a sign before it rains, it gets a bit colder. But anyway, rain's good for fishing. Gotta find a positive in every negative, haven't you?
So those storm clouds that I showed you earlier, they didn't bring any rain or like really heavy wind, but they did change the wind direction. So now we have wind on the stern, and it is a little bit sloppier than it was this morning. But we are almost there. We're about a mile out. So another step in the right direction. We're at the bottom tip of Long Island. Another good day.
Another good day. Get this hook down,
Get some food.
get some food, pack a cold beverage. Maybe let the dog go to the bathroom. It's going to be a little bit sloppy tonight, but hopefully come tomorrow or later tonight, and in the night it should get so much better.
Yeah, the wind is clocking.
It's clocking.
Yeah, he's bouncing a bit. So here at the bottom of Long Island, there's a settlement called Gordon's Beach. There's an awesome beach bar here. The owner is fantastic, very knowledgeable, and even lent us his car so we could go off and get a few supplies. Later that day, we celebrated my birthday with some great friends. We had an absolutely beautiful evening, and I even got brownies.
Happy birthday, dear Erica. Happy birthday to you.
Our first nighttime passage in a while. It's supposed to be calmest right now into the morning, so we're moving now. So you gotta love when your GoPro dies, but it says it's at 75% and it just craps out on you. So anyways, we did a morning passage. We left bright and early, well, not even bright and early. We left super early at about 4 a.m. this morning to make the crossing to the Acklands Islands. There is some bad weather coming, so if we stayed at Long Island, we would have either had to move further up the inside back north towards Thompson Bay, or even back towards Georgetown for protection. So we've decided to head for French Wells, where we've sat out a cold front before. Wasn't our favorite location, but it did the job. So 30 miles, we've made it. It was a very uneventful crossing, but the sunrise was beautiful.
Okay, so first of all, a bit of pre-storm prep. We are here in French Wells, which is basically the middle of the Crooked Island sort of area. Crooked and Acklands. Can never get that pronounced quite right, so don't tell me off. Bit of pre-storm prep, as I said. So what we've done, we've taken the 2 paddle boards away. We've gone around the decks, made sure there's nothing loose. We've set up a water catchment system with a 20-gallon and our bladder and the jugs. So hopefully we'll catch some water out of this, because another problem here, the water maker just died. We have secured the dinghy. We have secured everything we can. Also inside we have unplugged any non-essential electronics. We are charging up right now phones, iPads, all that sort of stuff, so that we don't need to be charging anything when the storm gets here. I'm sure Erica's going to edit in a little bit of footage from the radar apps that are showing just north of us how many lightning strikes there are at the moment. It's absolutely crazy. We've got some buddy boats in here with us. We've got Hamisha out there in the middle, and then we've got Carl a little bit further in, and there's 2 more boats also coming for refuge in here as well, but we don't know who they are. No one's been really socializing. Everyone's been prepping ready for the bad weather. So the reason we came in here was because this is about the only place in this area where you can get some form of protection. Now the problem with this place is there's a dolphin over there. I've just seen dolphins.
Oh, I see it.
You see it? Sorry. Anyway, you won't be able to see it on the camera. So the reason we came in here is the only place in the vicinity where we could get some form of protection from this storm without heading back north. And as you know, we're trying to head south, so we've chosen this place. We have been in here one time before.
2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago? No, it was about this time of year as well. And we came in here, and it wasn't the most comfortable place in the world, but we were further out in the middle where the other boats are, and there was a different boat in this location here. Now we do look a little bit close to shore, but the predicted bad weather is actually going to put us with deeper water behind us, not the shallows. And this is one of the best places in here, according to what everybody says over the years of experience, that it's got extremely good holding on the bottom, and also we're just outside of the current. So when we've got a west wind coming in and a very strong outgoing current, which we get about twice a day, literally every 6 hours you turn around here in the current. So we're just on the outside of it, and with Barefoot being quite a light vessel, when you're in a current, she doesn't care what the wind's doing. She just swings you around in circles. It's ridiculous. Maybe there's another thing Erica can edit in, and that's our track, what we've been spinning around the last couple of days. And we're in the better spot rather than being out there in the stronger current. The other vessels are heavier than us, so they might have it a bit better than we did last time. So anyway, fingers crossed. Everyone's preparing on their own vessels over there, so fingers crossed for a good night. It's not too bad. Hopefully it passes us by, but I still want the rain because we need the water. Updates coming if there's anything to show you.
Yeah, so I recall last time we left French Wells, after that cold front that came through, I'm pretty sure both me and Davy said we were never coming in here again. As fate would have it, we're heading south, a cold front's coming. This was the best option for where we are. So we had to suck it up and come in here. So like Davy said, hopefully the storm won't be too bad. So we do look a little bit close to shore, and it was stressing me out a little bit when we had south winds. We were pointing towards that shallow patch just there earlier. It was like right off our stern. Not the most fun afternoon. But when the wind comes from the other way, we'll be pointing more in deep water, like Davy said.
Can you tell Erica's a little bit nervous? She's always nervous, and then she's like, that wasn't too bad.
Just a little bit. Fingers crossed for the best. I hate lightning. It's definitely getting closer. Fingers crossed. Alright, let's fix this hair because we've just woken up. So last night was fun. There was so much lightning. There was a squall. At 12:30. Apparently I slept through that one. Davy didn't. And then there was another one at 5:30, which I woke up for because that was a much bigger one. There's lots of lightning again, lots of lightning all around us. I'll put in a picture of a screenshot. But we have managed to catch probably about 40-50 gallons of water. It's kind of hard to tell exactly how much, but I'll give you a little shot. We're pumping it into the boat now. So this guy's 20 gallons, or just over 20 gallons. He was full. We have the bladder set up there. Rain comes down the hose into the bladder. We've tied up the hoses so nothing leaks out. And then when we pump it into the boat, we filter it. And then also underneath the sink, we do have a carbon filter type thing as well. But I just did a parts per million test on this water, and it was like 72 parts per million. That's so much better than our water maker. And considering our water maker is out of commission at the moment, this is awesome. We were at 17% water in the tank yesterday. Now we're up to about 50%. Again, how accurate that is, I'm not 100% sure. It's just kind of a baseline. So it's exciting. Water, yay, and hopefully we're through the worst of it. So where we are in French Wells, anchored in here, on the charts it does look like it's quite open to the west, and some of the weather that we've been getting is strong winds from the west. But because in here there's such a strong current, it's kind of weird. Like, it looks rough out on the outside, but in here it's pretty calm, and I think that has to do with the currents. I'll show you on the camera. It's all white caps out there. It looks really nasty. So if we were on the outside, it would be a really shitty night. But in here we've fared quite well. So French Wells is a good spot for a cold front. And it's starting to rain again more, so hopefully we'll just fill up those tanks some more. And Davy's putting some pants on.
Morning all. Sorry, I was here before helping set. I set this up with Erica, but I didn't have any clothes on, so I thought I wouldn't want to scare any children that might be watching.
But we made the day bed up here last night. Yeah,
made the day bed. This is where I sleep when we're on passage. Gonna cut this off, guys. I'm gonna close this down while it's raining, and we'll start it back up again after.
Okay, so the crazy storm has passed, the reason we came in here, and now we're starting to do some weird circles because it's
turn at the tide, isn't it?
Yeah, slack tide, and there's not too much wind, so we're just spinning, doing little pirouettes.
Anyway, time to get out of here, so we're going to move on to Albert Town. It's not very far, it's about 6 miles in this direction. It's an old town that apparently got wiped out by a bit of a hurricane. We're not sure if anyone lives there anymore. Last we heard a few years ago there was only 4 people left. So we're going to go check out that area, see what it looks like down there. We have been to the beach there before, and it's beautiful, and it looks like it's a good place for doing some lobstering and fishing. So stock up the freezers before we pop on out of the Bahamas.
You ready to move this boat?
'Cause I am a barefoot man, barefoot to make my stand. I bare my soul for all the world to see, yeah. I am a barefoot man, feet planted firmly in the sand. Bare your souls, come along with me. Lose your shoes, lose your blues, come along with me.